It's time for another Dice Tower review from Gamers Remorse.
Hello and welcome back to Gamers Remorse. Today we're taking a look at the expansion of 5 tribes, the Artisans of Naqala? Naqala? Naqakalaka? Anyway,
Yes.
it's the expansion of 5 tribes. Let's check it out.
The Artisans of Naqala is the first expansion to Days of Wonder's 2014 release, 5 Tribes. The Artisans is the 6th tribe to join the game in the form of the Purple Artisans. The key gameplay remains the same as the base game, with a few minor enhancements. For those of you unfamiliar with the base game, a grid is made by randomly placing the tiles on the table to create a 6x6 grid. Each tile will then have 3 meeples placed on it. On a player's turn, they will pick up the meeples and move them from one tile to the adjacent tiles, dropping them one at a time, Mancala style, moving about the play area. The tile that they place the last meeple on will have a special ability which the player can choose to activate or to ignore. When placing the last meeple on the tile, they will pick up that meeple as well as any other meeples matching the same color. If taking these meeples leaves the tile without any meeples on the tile, they can place one of their camels to claim the tile, receiving the points indicated on said tile at the end of the game. With the expansion, they have added 3 new tiles: workshops, which allow you to exchange 1 artisan or 2 fakirs for the top item from the item pile. These tiles also have mountains on 2 of the edges that act as an impassable barrier while moving around the meeples. There are specialized markets, which act like the previous markets, only you pay 4 gold and can take any 1 card from all the available resource cards. And finally the chasm, which acts as an impassable tile on all 4 edges. Along with the new tiles, each player will receive a tint. The tint acts like a camel, though it has the added benefit of getting an additional point for each of the additional red tiles adjacent to it, including diagonals and the tile that it is played on. The game ships as well with 2 new djinn cards, as well as 2 of the old djinns which have been revised to include artisans and their abilities. The main change to the game comes with the tribe and the workshops. When collecting artisans, you draw items from the item pile equal to the number of meeples you collected, and choose to keep one of them while discarding the others. The artisans will also buy you more items when landing on workshops. The item cards can provide bonuses ranging from end-game points to one-time bonuses such as claiming a free djinn, placing your last meeple anywhere regardless of the previous meeple's placement, killing or moving meeples still in play area, moving your camels to a different tile, rearranging the resource pile, and claiming previously discarded items to use them again. Like the base game, players will bid their coins to establish play order after each round, with the game continuing until there are no legal moves available to players, at which point the players will tally their scores using the updated scorebook. So what did the guys think of Artisans of Naqala? Let's find out.
Alright, so that was the Artisans of Naqala expansion for 5 tribes, the only expansion that's out for it right now. Let's jump right into it. The look and feel of this game is phenomenal. I mean, it fits perfectly with 5 tribes. It's classic Days of Wonder. Gorgeous art, just like before. It adds the purple meeples, the mountains as well, and the tents. All of those are awesome. They're in the exact same quality as the original game. It comes with a new book, I guess you could say, the pad of paper. So you can add in your new characters and your new ways to score points based off the artisans. Nothing really to change about that, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's great quality. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree?
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, it's the quality you come to expect from Days of Wonder.
Right.
And you guys would know more than I, so.
I actually own all of the Days of Wonder games. You can call me a Days of Wonder fanboy, so.
Just a little bit.
Maybe just discredit my review, but not these 2 guys.
Should we tell them where your Days of Wonder logo tattoo is?
What?
No, that's for another time and another time.
Okay.
You'll have to get the premium tier on our Kickstarter. No, I'm kidding.
We have a Kickstarter?
We might. Anyway, balance and mechanics. What do you think, Brian?
I think it's great. I mean, it plays off of the same 5 tribes Mancala mechanic. So, I mean, everyone starts in the exact same position. And so, you know, the mechanics come down, the balance comes down to, are you willing to bid to go early? Mm-hmm. And then it self-balances in that everyone starts with that same position.
Right. one of the things I find interesting is the new mountains, right? So there are certain regions you cannot cross over anymore. Before it was pretty much all open, fair game, which actually hindered me in a couple of times. But you said that when you played it, it actually didn't matter because you guys weren't planning on going that way.
Right. When I played it, everyone else was like, these didn't impact us much, but I was utilizing the artisans, and the mountains border all the artisan tiles. And so, like, wanting to go there, it affected me. It didn't really impact anyone else.
That's interesting.
So no one else thought, hey, I'm going to use the expansion a lot.
Well, anyway, it adds a lot to the game, or at least hinders certain players.
Yeah.
Brian. But other than that, I mean, I think it played very well.
Yeah.
Overall, the Artisans, of course, is a new way to score points, which is very interesting. You have new genies with that, and then of course you have the nothing tile here,
The chasm.
the chasm. I was gonna say the pit, which is unique and interesting. It adds another
Impassable locale.
impassable locale where you have to like kind of go all the way around it, which is kind of fun. Pacing. I guess for 5 tribes, it pretty much paced the same to me.
Yeah.
I didn't see much difference. Maybe it adds that extra thought that runs through your head. Maybe I should go for artisans this time. No, I'm going to go for genies like I always do.
Well, that's Brian. So.
Yep.
It works well, though. But you actually tried the artisans to try and get those.
Yeah, so I mean, when I was playing it, I was like, it's expansion. I need to find out how this works. So I targeted the new artisans, and it was great. I mean, it adds a lot of new actions. So one of them, you can take a free genie. One of them, you can do a bunch of other crazy things that you can't normally do. And I loved that aspect of the game.
And then theme, it's the exact same theme as 5 tribes. With expansions, it's difficult to completely go through our rubric. So I'll just say it's the same, if not a little better, because you have yet another tribe.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a fun theme. I mean, it's Arabian Nights. Who doesn't like that? Especially if you grew up with Aladdin. I mean, come on.
It's true. Arabian Days. Don't like it. Anyway, easy to learn. Yeah, I mean, if you know 5 tribes, you can pick this up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Didn't change a whole lot of mechanics other than, well, you can't move over there now,
No.
and here's another way to win.
Yeah. I mean, it adds more strategy,
Oh, yeah.
but that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then replayability, of course. 5 tribes, one of the great things about it is you can keep,
Yeah.
playing through it multiple times because based upon where the meeples are, you can keep playing. And now there's purple ones.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
And one of the joys with 5 tribes is it changes in the 2-player versus the 4-player just slightly. 2 versus 3 or 4. And, one time Eric and I were like, hey, let's just try this 2 players. And I was amazed at how well it held up with the 2-player variant.
I've actually read recently online, the Facebook, if you will, that people were actually kind of knocking the 2-player variant.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah, I agree, because my wife and I play it all the time, and she loves the 2-player variant. I mean, maybe you're interacting twice as often or whatever, but that's not such a bad
2-player
thing.
game, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can try to chain your turns together.
Yeah. So comment below. What do you guys think about the 2-player variant to 5 tribes? Love it? Hate it? Indifferent?
You will be judged based on your response.
That's true.
Silently, maybe.
Silently. All right, so that's our review for 5 Tribes expansion. Definitely get it. It adds a lot to the game. And if you haven't tried 5 Tribes, try the base alone first. Yeah. For some people, it's not their cup of tea, but for a lot of people who love the Euro, great game.
Yeah. And if you guys are interested, we have an interview with Adrian from Days of Wonder on our channel where we talk about the Artisans of Naqala, as well as other exciting news coming from Days of Wonder.
And yes, it's still called 5 Tribes.
Yes. They said, and I quote, "Yes, we can count. We're still calling it 5 Tribes." End quote. So one of the other games that you guys are coming out with is City Mania. What can you tell us about this game?
So we usually don't talk much about new release, that are a work in progress. But we have this game called City Mania that we've been playing a lot in convention and so on. And I want to talk about that because I think it's for us, a very unique game, in the sense that we love city building game. I mean, I've been an avid fan of SimCity and so on. And I think building your own city, speak to everyone.
Yeah.
Do I want to have a park there, or do I have a factory in this area? So I think it's something that is easy to understand. And,
What's wrong with the thing? What do you think?
It's just not level, and you're too tall.
Yes. Yep, we're
Let me
good.
finish chewing. No, chewing
What
takes
do you have mutton in your mouth?
It's a pretzel. So dry.
Cut, post, edit, sepia tone,
Ice cream.
ice cream, edit.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.